Hey Leos, welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are doing well. Leos! Oh, why? Alright, we got the fault line in the castle, the vessel, Anima Mundi, the animal, the kiss, and the vision. Leos. I mean, the castle is the idea of like destination stagnation, right? And it's someplace that you think that you want to be. Sorry, it sounds like there's somebody like right outside my camper, but I don't see anybody. Sorry. It's the idea that like it's where you think you want to be, but then you get there and then you're like, no, just kidding. And the fault line is the idea that it's just like one thing after another thing after another thing after another thing. God, was this in our last read? I don't know if this is a Leo read or a Scorpio read, but it's just kind of the idea that like you're in a situation where you have an opportunity to either build something or break something. And I kind of want to say that the idea here with the Anima Mundi is that in all things be all things, right? Like you have an understanding of how all these cracks occurred, like how it is that, like it left you on a faulty foundation, how it is that it felt drafty and cold and like someplace that ultimately like wasn't even really inviting. And then you have the animal, the kiss, and the vision. And I kind of feel like it's one of those things where it's like once you know all the things that you don't want or all the things that you do want, and most of us, I don't know, just like in general, tend to figure things out the hard way, like sometimes you don't know what you really want until you figure out all the reasons you don't want something that like on the surface seemed really like a great idea. And then once you get deeper in, you have a better understanding of why maybe like that lifestyle or that relationship or that whatever wasn't a good fit for you. And then once you have that understanding, you're able to really go for what it is that you sincerely want, that you sincerely desire, that you sincerely envision for your life. Because Leos, we're big picture people, right? Like, is part of the reason I struggle with semantics so much, I think, because it's like people get hung up on like the details of things and then they get stuck in these little loopholes and it's like, like you're missing the entire picture here. And I feel like Leos, there's been an idea of you getting caught in a loophole of somebody else's loophole and you feeling like you're just getting spun around in this cycle where it's displeasing at best. But like grand scale, not only am I displeased, but like get the fuck away from me. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's just been this, and it depends on the situation, because again, as above, so below. If you're dealing with it in one area, you're probably dealing it with every other area. And so there may be some situations where in your life where you've just been like, absolutely not, get away from me. I do not want that in my life. And there are other situations where you're probably like, that is not pleasing. No. You know what I mean? It just kind of depends. But it feels like there's just been a lot of no, nope, so that you can come back into the big picture. And part of the beauty of the big picture is that like if you reach a point where you get stuck, you can back up, you can step back, you can look around, you can see, there are always a lot of paths to get to where we want to be. There's not one way, and maybe you took the interstate, but you really you discovered that you're somebody who likes to take the back roads. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, that's, there's too much traffic, there's too much, noise, too much whatever. I want to take the back roads where it's quiet, it's peaceful, yeah, there might be some rough spots, but it's tranquil, and I kind of feel like you were on a path that you thought was gonna straight deadhead to where it is that you wanted to be, but it ended up being like construction and traffic and everything else, and so you had to stop and you had to reroute and you had to figure it out, but you remained loyal what it is, you know, like a destination, I think, or you've remained loyal to, you know, like heading into an area where you can really expand your vision. You can, you know, like explore all of the facets of that. And possibly a relationship that is involved with this. The kiss is the idea of a relationship, you know, like intimacy and the animal and the kiss. I mean, it could be somebody from your past that's coming back around again, because the idea of the vessel is, you know, build it or break it. And how you feel about that. And I kind of want to say, well, let's do clarifiers. One card. Temperance. Yeah. I mean, it's the idea of sincere balance, right? I mean, if as above, so below plays itself out in negative ways, I feel like temperance is as above, so below positive ways. You know, like, okay, if I'm working with people who I feel like they see me and they hold space for me and they are encouraging of my growth and development, then I'm going to start to attract friends who do that. I'm going to start to attract relationships that do that. You know, and I feel like it's just this idea of like, that's what I envisioned for my life in the first place, right? Because Leo's, we're the regal sign, you know, like I want the best of it all. I don't want secondhand attention. I don't want secondhand, you know, like whatever. Like, I want the best. I want first dibs. I want to have a say in what goes on in my life and who is in my life and why they're in my life. And I feel like there's just been a lot of feeling like you haven't had a say in how things are going in your life. So much so that you were just like done with all of the bullshit in a really big way. Ops. And then we have the Knight of Wands, the Seven of Wands, the Queen of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. Well, I mean, I feel like the Queen of Swords, again, is just kind of, I mean, she's no bullshit. And I feel like Leos, you guys have been in a place, we've been in a place where we're just like I'm going to call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to come at me sideways, I'm going to look at you sideways. Like, the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It means you're coming at me sideways and I'm wondering what the fuck you're doing. You know what I mean? Because it's causing a lot of chaos and it's causing a lot of confusion. And why would you do that on purpose? You know what I mean? Like, just a vibe. And the Knight of Wands and the Seven of Wands, I really do feel like there's somebody, either you or somebody who's, you know, like you've had some falling outs, a lot of falling outs, and you've just kind of been like, okay, like which direction do I want to go and why do I want to go that way? And Leos, it's been in our reads for a while, you know, like healing the casualties of war. And when there's a lot going on, like you can't always give your full attention to all of those areas, right? Like, sorry, I've got my whole life over here. I don't really have time to like tend to all of this other bullshit, right? And it's kind of like, once you deal with all of the big things, then you're able to really start taking care of the things that help you to kind of see your way out of it. And then you've got the Ten of Pentacles, and I feel like there's an opportunity that's being presented to you that will really kind of lift you up, lift your spirits, lift you, you know, like raise you up. I feel like honor you, respect you, you know, practice gratitude for you, because Leos, I know we get so much shit. we're egomaniacs and we're overly confident and we're whatever. But it's like, you know, shush. Leos are confident, and our confidence enables other people to stand in their confidence too, because it gives people the power to say, no, I won't accept that, because we don't live in a world where people are comfortable saying, no, I don't want to accept that. And we're leaders, right? And we lead by example. And so if I'm willing to say, I'm going to hold my boundaries and I'm not going to deal with that, I hope that other people are going to say, oh, damn, you can do that? Like, oh shit, I can get away with that? Like, I can stand up for myself. I can hold my boundaries, I can say, no, I'm not willing to accept your breadcrumbs, you know, like, because I think that there are a lot of people who think that they should only accept breadcrumbs and they should coddle other people's egos and other people's insecurities. And it's like, no, you know? So yeah, we're confident, but like also we encourage other people to do the same, right? We want to be around people who stand in their power because we stand in our power. And if you have one rotten fruit, that rotten fruit ruins the whole batch. So forgive the Leos for not wanting to be thrown in with rot. You know what I mean? Like, don't come at me like I've done you wrong because I don't want you turning me into rot. You know what I mean? Like, that is just a whole vibe that we've been on. And I think that, you know, like, while you might catch some slack for it, like, fuck those people. Legit. I had somebody tell me, well, if you don't fuck with addicts, then you need to just fuck off. And I was just like, okay, well, go ahead and watch me, you know, like turn my ass around. And then they come back, you know, always, you know, but like, because they know that even though we don't fuck with other people's shit, like also I'm not gonna not love you for it. I'm not gonna, like, I might not fuck with your people, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna turn my back on you if you need me. That doesn't mean that like I won't gas you up when you're feeling down. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that, you know, the people who are your people, they know that. You know what I mean? Like, there's no question. And they might run off at the mouth and, you know, like get pissed at you for holding your boundaries, but they'll get over it. It's not your problem. Okay, Leos. The Magician, Justice, and the Seven of Wands again. I mean, so it does feel like there is like this elevation that's coming out of feeling like people are criticizing you for holding your boundaries. People are, you know, like they want to talk shit on you when they're the ones who are, you know, being idiots. And I feel like there's an idea here that you are really, and the Six of Cups and the Six of Wands, I mean, this Six of Wands is the idea of like manifesting and creating magic. And the Six of Cups is like nostalgia and thinking back over everything. And I feel like there's an idea here of that, like there have been people who you've dealt with who have like come at you sideways where you're like, no, you know, like, sorry, that's not gonna fly with me. You know, like, and if you need for this to end, then let's go ahead and end it. Like, I will gladly take care of that for you, you know? And I feel like there's an idea here again of Leo's like justice coming to you because you stood in your truth. Justice coming to you because you were confident enough to know how you needed to move, which way you needed to move, and why you needed to move that way. And you weren't questioning yourself. You weren't feeling emotionally insecure about it. You were just done with it. And you were like, nah, like, I know what I want. I know what I deserve. And anything or anyone that wants to come at me sideways with some bullshit can go ahead and walk in the other direction. You know, like, tell me that I need to lower my standards. Bitch, please. You know what I mean? and calling on your magic. Like, again, you know, Leos, I feel like it's that idea of like when you refuse to accept less, when you refuse to take breadcrumbs, when you refuse to surround yourself with people who you know are going to bring rot to you and the people around you, and you say, no, go, you know, like there might be people who get mad. They might call you a snob. They might call you elitist. They might think that you are egotistical and you think you're better than everybody. But expecting people to show up the way that you show up does not mean that you think you're better than them. It means that you expect people to do what you do. And if you can't meet me where I'm at, then you're not where I'm at and you can go, right? But I feel like in doing that, you're opening up the space for what it is that you really envision, for what it is that you want to create. Because letting other people try and create things on your behalf is like about as dumb as it gets. Because you're not going to be happy with it. The storm, yeah, because it's going to create confusion, because they're going to, and again, and I struggle with this concept, you know, the idea that like if you're doing everything for everybody else all of the time, then, you know, like, then you're piecing yourself out, you're selling yourself short, and it causes a lot of confusion. And I feel like Leos, we are very loyal and we are very diehard and we're very steady. And so when people want to be in relationships with us or have friendships with us and they want to, like, it's like accept me and all of my baggage, or don't accept me at all, and you want to hold space for them and hold space for like their experience and their whatever. But when that just causes chaos and confusion in your life, you have to draw the line. And when it stresses you out and it makes other people feel bad, and it's just like a whole lot of negativity and a whole lot of yuck, then it's not worth it. And I feel like, Leos, really and truly, there's been a whole lot of not worth it in your life lately. And I think that maybe there are some people who are coming back around again who are like, hey, I brought that to your table and it wasn't fair and it wasn't right. And, you know, and I know it. And I almost want to say are thankful that you stayed true, that you refused to allow the rot, you know, because if you provide a safe space, if you provide a healthy relationship, if you provide a solid foundation, when people run around on these weak ass foundations and everything comes crumbling down around them, of course they're thankful that they have a solid foundation to stand on in the end. Who wouldn't be, right? All right, Leos. Well, I hope this resonates with y'all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe if this does. And I will see y'all again soon. Bye.